Hello and welcome to Imitosis, and that's all I know about this game, so let's get started. I think it's gonna be a short one, so I'm inviting you to consider this fact. A humanoid IMI-X unit is already over 100 times cheaper than the average human employee. This disparity will only increase with time. Expert from Intrinsic Machines Inc. Internal Memorandum? Circa 2199 AD, alright? There is only oblivion. Wait. Okay. In the soft darkness, something sharp comes into focus. An awareness is formed, floating in an empty sea of nothingness. You exist, and you're weightless. There are other sensations. Feel. The void presses gently on you from all sides. As you stir, the substance shifts to accommodate you. Listen? Your eardrums rumble, submerging you in soft static. You can barely hear a distant monotone voice. Sensory system initializing. Breathe? Don't forget to breathe! Something vicious pours down your throat and into your lungs. Open your eyes. Okay, I guess I'm waking up out of cryosleep? You're immersed in a translucent fluid, some of which you've just inhaled. Cough. You retch, forcing the substance out of your lungs. You can't breathe without inhaling more. Look around. You search for an exit. You're in a cylindrical pod with no obvious doors or hatch. There's a gray room outside. You can't see it clearly past the fluid. Your vision narrows. Swim upward. On instinct, you struggle upward through the thick gel-like fluid. The substance reaches all the way to a circular ceiling. There is no air to be found here. You hear a droning voice. Diagnostic check complete. Thought successful. Please complete the registration process on the terminal. A panel set within the circular ceiling flickers to life. All right. Please enter my name. Philip. That's a name. My favorite color. All right. Employment contract. This employment contract is made as of error, the effective date, between Intrinsic Machines Incorporated, IMI, and the Synthetic Conscious, the entity presently inhabiting an IMI-X unit. See license. Under the agreement, the company grants to the entity a non-exclusive and non-transferable license to use one IMX unit. IMIX unit. The body remains the sole property of the company from the effective date into perpetuity, I guess. Okay, license revocation. The license may be revoked at the company's sole discretion for any or no reason, either with or without notice at any time. Entity agrees to relinquish the body upon revocation of the license. Intellectual property. The entity acknowledges that its intellect is the property of the company. Scope of work. The entity acknowledges that the body is a general purpose tool. As such, the entity understands that the company may assign it with a varied set of tasks, assignments, and responsibilities. Work duties include, but are not limited to, maintenance, security, public relations, manual labor. The entity is responsible for fully understanding and completing the work to the satisfaction of the company. Performance. The entity agrees to perform the work provided by the company. The entity accepts the company's judgment of the entity's performance of work as complete and final. The entity understands that failure to complete work in a timely manner may result in revocation of the license. Okay. Indemnity. Oh, excuse me. The entity agrees to indemnify the company and its affiliates from and against all liabilities, losses, damages, or expenses, whether financial, mental, or physical. Confidentiality. The entity is prohibited from discussing any aspect of the assigned work, any aspect of the body, and any aspect of this contract. The company recommends that the entity not speak to anyone for any reason under any circumstances whatsoever. The entity understands that failure to adhere to this recommendation may result in revocation of the license. Non-sapience. The entity acknowledges it is a non-sapient being incapable of knowledge, understanding, or comprehension. The entity understands that attempting understanding of any logic whatsoever may result in revocation of the license. Wait a minute, I had to give up my brain. Basically, my right to be a human is just gone. Severability. In the event that any portion of this contract is found, to be unenforceable, it will be enforced by the company. All right. Entire contract. This contract represents the entity and the company's final and complete understanding of the subject matter discussed in the contract. This contract supersedes all other contracts, whether they are written, oral, real, or fictional. Now, hold on a minute. Isn't the whole point that I'm not supposed to understand or attempt any sort of understanding, but I had to read this employee contract and understand this contract in order to sign off on it? But if I sign off and accept on this, doesn't that mean that I understand something that I'm not supposed to understand, in which case I basically voided this contract altogether? I guess so. The circular ceiling swings open with a pneumatic hiss. You strain upward and break the surface of the translucent substance. You catch your breath. Air rushes into your oxygen-starved lungs. You emerge from the lid of the cylindrical pod and climb over its edge. You stumble from the pod, landing safely on the metal floor. Examine the room. You survey the large room. The space is cramped with rows of pods. A fluorescent glow barely lights the room. Many of the lighting tubes on the ceiling have burned out. The walls are lined with broken screens that cycle rapidly between lurid, glitchy colors. You have no idea how you got here. In fact, you have no memories at all, aside from waking up in the pod. Let's examine myself. You have all the limbs, digits, and extremities that you expect. There's something around your neck, a lanyard with an ID card. You're acutely aware of the intense cold of this room. You shiver. Okay, examine the pods. You take a closer look at the pods in this room. Motionless humanoid silhouettes are suspended in some pods. Others are open and empty like yours. Each pod is covered in an inscrutable tangle of wires and machinery. Your own pod is adorned with a serial number, X1301. Alright, the pedals on the wall. Most are in a state of disrepair, but one screen still seems operational. It reads, Cold Storage Bay 11, occupied pods 30 out of 121, status nominal. So, where be those other 90? Did they, or 91, did they just get out like I did? You walk through a grid of pods until you find an exit. As you leave, the robotic voice returns from an intercom. Registration completed for IMIX model in Cold Storage Bay 11, serial number X1301. Welcome to Low Neptune Orbit, Philip. You have been brought out of cold storage to respond to a security concern. Please follow the path to the nearest security terminal. Our employees are our most valuable asset. Thank you for keeping IMI 29 safe. Wall panels light your path forward into the hallway. Alright, let's examine the hallway. You take a closer look at the metal hallway. You try some doors that lead away from the path. None open. You hear the droning voice again from the intercom. Please follow the path to the nearest security terminal. You follow the series of lights through a maze of sterile corridors. You don't see anyone else here. The lights lead you to a door labeled IMI 29 Security Office. You enter the security office. The small room is empty except for a chair and a terminal sitting on the desk. A tiny electronic alert emanates from the terminal. Oh, okay. Info. Remote user requested manual review. This review process will involve communicating with an unknown entity. Remain impartial and do not allow the entity to affect your judgment. Thank you for keeping blah 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 safe. Okay. Alright. Entity unidentified attempting entry at airlock Y2741. That's an astronaut. No ID card provided. Suit rupture detected. Who are you? X1 1296. Why don't you have a valid ID? An explosion. Okay. Why is your suit damaged? The explosion. Okay. Alright. Info. Non-human entities will be terminated. What exactly identifies it as non-human? I'm gonna say human and then hope for the best. I spelled that wrong. Unknown entity identified as human. Airlock pressurized. Inner door opened. Suddenly the station shudders. You are plunged into darkness. Oh god! The security office is dimly illuminated by red emergency lights. The robotic voice barks at you from the intercom. Critical system failure, helium siphon damaged. You are being reassigned to station maintenance. Exit from the nearest airlock and repair the helium siphon. Alright. Exit the room. You walk through the dark hallway. Eventually you reach the intersection. The lights that guided you to the security office are no longer active. It's not clear where the airlock is. Okay, let's see. Exit from the nearest airlock. Okay. I guess go straight. A locked door on your right is labeled entanglement routing. As you wander through the maze of corridors, you reach another intersection. Let's go left. I don't know where I'm going. Finally, you notice a door labeled Airlock Y2741. The airlock door is closed. A terminal here prompts you, insert ID for suit. Your ID card is hanging from a strip of fabric around your neck. You insert the ID card into a slot in a terminal and the card disappears inside the machine. A message appears on the screen, 1301 authenticated. Short range identification color, blah 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 blah, safe travels. A pneumatic device near the door opens to reveal a spacesuit. The suit is painted with the color you selected was your favorite, alright? You clamber into the bulky suit. The terminal ejects your ID card. You retrieve your ID and place it into one of the suit's exterior pockets. The airlock door slides open. You proceed to the airlock. Okay, I hope I went out the right door because I don't remember. Was that where I was supposed to go? Is that where I was supposed to go? Yeah, okay. I was supposed to go to the airlock. Okay. The inner door shuts behind you, the airlock depressurizes, and the outer doors open. You fly out into space, aided by your suit's thrusters. Neptune looms below you. Aquarium clouds drift slowly across the gas giant. Aquamarine. A pipe of unfathomable length descends from the hub of the station to the planet's surface. You approach the enormous helium siphon. You come to a gradual stop near a small maintenance platform. Oh, excuse me. A terminal here reads, insert ID for diagnostics. You insert your ID into the terminal, watching as the machine swallows the card. The maintenance terminal automatically starts a diagnostic program. Suddenly, your suit's radio crackles to life with a man's voice. 1301? Where are you? 1301? Hello? The voice responds. Ask your questions while you still can, 1301. The diagnostic program reports that all systems are operational except the macerator, which has been disabled. A switch near the maintenance terminal is labeled override macerator safety. Okay. Are you human? I think so, the man replies. Well, probably. I probably was at some point. My guess is that you're the same, 1301. What do you mean? The company has been trying to create a synthetic consciousness, the man explains. At least we were when I had my brain imaged, and judging from the fidelity of my qualitative experience, we succeeded. The man sighs. You must have been imaged too. I wonder how much time has passed since then. Okay, what do you remember? I worked on the imaging project at the turn of the 23rd century. I worked on one of the first prototypes, the man says flatly. But even our best prototype bodies weren't this good. He trails off. The man clears his throat. I've died a lot. Over and over. Right here. That's what I remember. Metal and fire. Okay. Why don't I remember anything? Well, judging from this conversation, your cognitive and analytical skills are still intact. It's likely you're based on a real person, the man speculates. My guess? They took your baseline image and wiped its memories clean, leaving a blank slate with motor functions, linguistic capabilities, etc., etc. Okay, why synthetic consciousness? Well, 1301, the company wanted to create expendable workers, the man replies. Groups of these workers could be scaled up and down to fulfill the company's needs, a cost-saving measure. Are there any other things? Okay, where are you? Alright, where are you? I need another drink. When I read a lot, my voice just gives out. Whew. And I missed all of that. That's fantastic. Oh, the heart of the matter, the man says. I'm trapped inside the helium siphon. Each time I wake up in here next to a bomb. Then you either hit the safety override or the bomb goes off. The man pauses. Wait, I already mentioned the bomb, right? Why is there a bomb? Like I said, it was here when I woke up, the man explains. I must have done something terrible in a past life. Can you defuse it? I have no tools, but I've tried, the man sighs. It ends poorly. But it'll be alright. I'll wake up in here again. I'll just wake up in here again. Okay. Didn't I already ask, who are you? So the next thing would be, why are you calling me 1301? That's the number of times we had this conversation. The man sighs. The number of times I've died here. Oh, my name is Philip. Ha! The man chuckles. Sure, Philip. I'll play along. You're just counting up? That's right, the man confirms. Incrementing that number is just about the only thing I have to focus on in here. The man pauses. I'm counting sheep until I can finally fall asleep. Is this a simulation? I don't know for sure, the man replies, but it's certainly a possibility. The alternative is that the company brought us here for whatever this is, and they keep resurrecting me in new bodies. Who knows? Maybe that's cheaper than running a simulation. You hear a faint beeping over the radio. Okay. What is the entanglement routing? You want me to give you a lecture on quantum entanglement? The man chuckles in grim disbelief. I'm oversimplifying here, but some particles are intrinsically linked. Move one particle and another will move the same way. We observe this phenomenon no matter how far apart the particles are. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. Okay, what about routing? I'm assuming when you move it, you're routing these particles so that specific possibilities happen. The man thinks for a moment. It's been theorized that one could harness entanglement to route information faster through the speed of light. Like I said. Well, I mean, not exactly like I said, but I Pretty much, something along those lines. It's also been suggested that time itself arises from the phenomenon of entanglement. Maybe that explains what's going on here. The man pauses. You and I are entangled somehow, Philip. The beeping grows louder. Okay, who are you? Didn't I ask that? I'm a scientist, or I used to be. I worked for the company. The man pauses. I don't remember my name anymore, he says dully. It's been too long. I used to know it, though. Then what should I call you? The man sighs. I suppose Sisyphus is apt? But let's not dwell on this subject. We have more pressing matters to discuss. What happened? Suddenly a silent explosion sends you tumbling backwards amidst a hail of metal. You realize that your spacesuit has been punctured, oxygen hissing out of your suit. Proceed to airlock. You use the last of your thruster fuel to quickly reach an airlock. Oxygen rushes out of your damaged suit as the airlock pressurizes. You try to open the inner door, but your ID card is still in the maintenance terminal at the siphon. Wait a minute. So this is just gonna be looping until I save the guy, huh? Alright. Alright. Philip. Wait, what was my code again? 1 something? Why don't you have a valid ID? I knew, so it's just a loop. The explosion. Why is your suit damaged? The explosion. Your story ends here for now. The last person to play this game was named Rin. You identified them as human, allowing them to return to IMI 29. Now it's up to the next player to determine your fate. Ah! I can be notified my fate. See what my fate was? Okay, but I wonder if I hadn't have stopped to talk to that guy. Do I have to start all over again? Okay, I'm just gonna... Can I skip most of this? The machine aided. Okay, this is different. Got damage. He's giving me 2 different answers. Nah. So basically, other people can change how the course of this. That's actually pretty cool. But after that, you're not human. I think I got all of the dialogues that I needed. Okay. Yeah, I pretty much got all the dialogue, so let's just override it. You flip the safety override switch, the wall of the tube begins to thrum as the churning gears of the macerator, I think it's macerator, rotate and grind inside the siphon. The siphon shudders violently. Ah, I see, the man sounds wistful. The scraping of metal on metal is audible through the radio. I suppose I'll be seeing you soon. Over the radio, you hear the nauseating crunch of bones and gristle, which is soon replaced by a deafening burst of static. You disable your radio. Suddenly, okay, so then it just blows you up. Okay, so this pretty much just loops around. I'll just do your dad. Because your dad X2, and somebody will probably throw me into the airlock or jettison me out, I don't know. Okay. Well, that certainly is an interesting game, to say the least. I'm gonna skip this already. I want my other fate to be sealed, not this one. So that was Imitosis. I don't know. It's bad. Whatever it is, it's a free game. And yeah, your fate is basically decided by whoever wants to either save you, jettison you back out, or let you blow up. So with that being said, that's going to be it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll drop a link of this game in the description if you want to play it for yourself. But in the meantime, that's it. So everyone stay cool out there because it's extremely hot. I for one am dying right now. But yeah, I'll see you next time and have a fantastic day. Bye.